The ground X that was here before is now missing, and one leg of the ground X was placed there after I dropped off my pumpkins. They placed the X right here, pointing this direction toward this tree. And this is the direction I got the wood knock from when I was dropping off the pumpkins. I came back a couple days later. So the ground X was missing from there. I turned right down this trail, walked down, and I placed my 2 pumpkins there. And the 2 pumpkins, as you can see, are still there, untouched. And then this trail continues this way. Still untouched. There again, there's the pumpkins. That was direction. That was the direction where I heard the wood knocks come from. There were 2 distinct wood knocks. When I was here dropping off the pumpkins, I was up there where the trail Y's off to come down to where I dropped the pumpkins off, and right when I made a right turn on that Y of the trail, something got thrown at me. I walked down the trail, Took the 2 pumpkins out of the bag. As soon as I set the pumpkins down, I got 2 distinct wood knocks in this direction, right over here. I look to the right, and what do I see? An X. And that X directly behind it in this area is where I heard the wood knock come from. And there's a creek bed right there. So let's go look at that X formation. But right before that Y, there was a secondary trail off the main one. This one right here. And regarding that X I just mentioned, I walk up and I see this X leaned up against this tree. 2 forked ends, one forked end of one branch facing down, the other forked end of the second branch facing up, crossing directly in front of the tree. Anybody knows what this means? Please let me know. I've seen these structures before. That's been leaned there. Of no mistake that this is trapped underneath here. So I believe that did not fall that way. That was leaned up. One's debarked, one's not. And you can see where this X is. Like I said, they were, well, I won't say they, one or more individuals were back here. This is the direction I heard the wood knock from, which happens to be behind this tree the X is leaned up on. If I scan to the left, you can see where I deposited the 2 pumpkins, which have remained untouched. I'm not in the habit of feeding Bigfoot. I don't do that, but I have gifted them quartz, various types of colored gemstone like rocks, arrowheads, and I even gifted them fossil rocks that I have found. I have brought them here, and they have taken every one of them. I never really got in the habit. The pumpkins, the reason I bring the pumpkins to this forest once a year is around Halloween. I know the deer, the squirrels, and even the rabbits will devour the pumpkins, and I do it to sort of, instead of just throwing my pumpkins away in the garbage, I sort of give back. And the last 3 years I've done this, the pumpkins have disappeared. I've assumed the deer have eaten them, and the squirrels, and even the birds will consume the seeds. So the pumpkins are sitting there. They haven't been touched. I cut a wedge out of one of them and laid it on top right after I heard that knock, to sort of let them know that the pumpkin is edible and they're safe to eat it. These trails, which generally are impassable during the summer, late spring and early fall, you can see all the, not just deer traffic, but I would assume human traffic. Hunters do come through here during deer season. As of recently, deer hunters have been back here. But I noticed early on, before deer season opened up in this section of this forest here, these trails were trampled down, and I didn't get the impression it was from cloven hooves. The trails were really trampled down quite a bit, like there's other traffic than just modern humans walking through here. Interesting how I've been down this trail when it's been overgrown even, and this tree is laid up right over the trail. Could have fell over or been pushed over. That's the base of the tree. It is growing, was growing there, and died. Could be deer. It's like it's definitely churned up or torn up from a deer hoof. Again, another trail. A lot of trails being trampled down. A lot of deer. I've heard fox calls in this area. And coyotes in the distance. Pretty quiet today. I hear the squirrels and the occasional bird. Before fall hit, you were lucky to see 10 to 15 feet through the underbrush here. Now, with a lot of the foliage gone, you can see pretty far. I haven't done a video for a long time, guys, and I want to just tell you sort of a little backstory behind that. Not just with the COVID crisis, but with some issues in my own family, not my immediate family, but my extended family, people getting sick from this, and in some cases we did have some deaths in our extended family. So I'm trying to be extra cautious, and I don't make it a point of going out as frequently as I had in the past. Part of it was as Illinois had shut down a lot of the public areas, state parks and conservation areas where you couldn't gain access. Here's an interesting area here. Yeah, I'm probably 100 yards from the parking lot right now, but I just heard somebody lock their doors. I heard the car horn beep when you lock your door, so when I first pulled in there was nobody here. There it is. Another X. Look at this, folks. Another X. Right there. Now if you can see it, right there. Right above a trail. Look at that. An X right above a trail. That's not conspicuous at all. Leading down to the creek, you ought to walk under this X. Quite interesting. Here it is from the back side. There's the creek below, and there's the X right there. You got to walk under this X on the trail. And I've been on this trail, well, it's been some time, but I would have remembered this. Interesting that the branches seem chopped off, and so somebody, well, cut it off, but the rest of it is broken. I can't explain it. This should take me back to the main trail. This should go right up to the main trail. As you can see, it's been dragged out. No root on it. Been dragged out across this trail here. There's the other trail right in there, and you could probably see it from here. There's a tree snapper break right there, right next to that trail. And the pumpkins. Sort of interesting, you have an X right there. I'll zoom on it. Hold the camera a little higher. There's the X right there. And about 45 feet from that X are these pumpkins where I set them. And if I turn around, the trail I just came up right there, which really once you get to a point on that trail you have to get on all fours and crawl underneath the brush that was pulled. It's sort of tunneled over the top of the trail, so you have to almost duck down or go under the brush. Just at the end of that trail is an X going directly over it, which I showed you earlier in the video. I think they use some of this cut down timber right here in this pile. I've seen it incorporated in X's wherever they've cut down timber years ago in this conservation area. I'll find this stuff put up in X's, suspended in trees. As you can see, the sun is going down right there. We probably have another 45 minutes to an hour of daylight.